What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's trading day, we did not take any trades. We just were analyzing the market. We didn't really place anything, nothing that I absolutely loved. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk you guys through like my bias coming into the morning, what I was thinking, and what I wanted to see from price before taking a trade that I honestly, unfortunately, did not end up seeing, and price ended up hitting my drawn liquidity. So coming into today, again, I always like to start off like the weekly where we want to be in price, and obviously we're bullish. It looks like we want to go to buy sell liquidity right at that high right there, which is all-time highs. But what do we have here? So I did see the daily sweep of this high, the weekly open swept the high, so we could go to the low. But again, another thing too is like we're so bullish in price that in order for us to go to the daily, I expect to run through this first and then I'll get confirmation. So that just didn't make sense yet. So coming into the day, I was like, all right, like, what is London doing? So London opened lower here. Let me just remove the lipstick off the fucking screen. So 2 a.m. opened, went lower, tapped into this 4 hour, tapped into this mitigation or this order block, right? And on NQ, we didn't do that. On ES, we did not do that. So forming a what? A bullish SMT. So I marked out the SMT. Obviously, if you look at the order block, we extended out on time. We mitigated the order block. So I was like, okay, like this essentially could be a protected low. I was like, what would I like to see before 10 a.m.? Well, personally, I would like to see us sweep the low. So now we have CRT with this hourly low or 4 hour low, and then we can go and target London high, right? But then I went on the hourly and I was like, okay, what are we seeing here? And I saw that this was still holding. So I saw that this wasn't holding anymore. This hourly ended up getting invalidated. So London opened lower, put in SMT, invalidated immediately a bearish gap, meaning we are bullish, right? What did I not like? I did not like that we swept this high and then closed back in the range. That confused me. I was like, we're not displacing through. This looks like this might flip and we might take London session low out. Although it should be sponsored, it could still happen. Again, and I was like, all right, like, so we inverse here. I'm going to still stay bullish until when? Until proven otherwise. What do we have here? An hourly BISI. So I was okay. We're bouncing not really between two ranges here, but we are in this range. We invalidated this. We should go higher. So what do I want to see? This CRT low on the hourly. I'll say, okay, we could sweep this. Maybe we come to this consequent encroachment on open, which is exactly what we ended up doing. I was all right, perfect. We're bullish, right? On ES, I would have loved to see an SMT here. So something like we would have swept this low. I would have felt way more confident on this trade. So let me delete this. Now that you guys know we were bullish. Boom, boom, boom. What do we have here? So we had this 15-minute gap, right? And I was thinking, I was like, price is mitigating midnight open and then closing back in the range. And then if you look at the 5-minute, we broke structure to the downside on ES, right? Like we were closing below this low on ES at 9:30 open. We closed below. So I was like, all right, like this might be bearish, right? We tapped into the 15-minute, we opened higher, tapped into this 15-minute SIBI, and then so let me just extend this out in lifetime. So in lifetime 9:30 open higher here, mitigating this, and then we went lower, and I was like, okay, like I can see us hitting London session low. But what was still in my mind, London session low could still be a sponsor low because of the SMT. So I was waiting. I was like, all right, like I'm gonna wait for more information. I was like, I think this 1 minute SIBI will end up delivering price lower. We did not do that. So I was okay, like, so we might be bullish. This might end up holding. We might be bullish. I want to see a close above this high, this first high, 9:30. I want to see a 5-minute close above. If we close above it on the 5-minute, that will make me very bullish, right? What did we end up doing? There it is. There's the first close. I didn't like this wick here, so essentially to be very, very how do you say, cautious. I usually like to see a close above this, although we don't have to, because if we're bullish, like a close above this would mean we're bullish, right? But then this could be soup. But at the same time, this again, if you look at the higher time frame narrative, like again, what is the reason why we're going higher? Well, higher time frame gap, London session low, SMT'd, hourly inverse. We came back to equilibrium, swept sell side on the hourly, tapped into the rejection block, and now we have a 5-minute bullish break of structure. So this is, again, when we're breaking it down, we're clearly bullish here, right? It's just about now entry wise, it's about waiting for it to be undeniably clear to enter. So what made me cautious was ES. ES wasn't pushing higher here how I wanted it to. ES was just holding. And I was like, bro, this makes no sense. I look at the hourly on ES and we have this hourly gap. And I'm like, I can see ES holding because of that freaking hourly gap. Although it makes no sense, I can see it holding. And that is automatically for me a no trading day. I was like, all right, like, I'm not going to trade today, most likely. Like, you know, and you just got to accept it. Sometimes as traders, we get so frustrated at times, and especially me. So the reason why I'm talking about this, because especially me, like, I want to trade because, like, I want to, you know, get to where I want to get to in life. So I want to, like, trade. I want to get there. I want to just get it done. You know what I mean? But at times, like, at the beginning of your trading journey, you learn how to trade, and then towards the end, where you're reaching profitability, you have to learn when not to trade or how not to trade, right? And I realized this, it all starts with just focusing on the process, focusing on quality over quantity. Just because you know that the market is going to go somewhere doesn't mean it's worth your capital. So there's going to be many occasions where, you know, this is one of them, where price isn't undeniably clear. Like, it is in a way, because I just told you guys the context behind it. But I even took a demo trade here to just kind of prove a point. Let me just show you guys the execution here. I was like, all right, like, although we broke structure to the upside, I see ES holding this, so I'm just gonna short right here this 3-minute IFEG to see if it holds. I don't think it's a good trade, but the reason I took it is because of ES to see if it holds, and obviously, look, I didn't because NQ wanted to go higher, right? But again, I don't know it will go higher because of ES, right? I just took it just to kind of prove a point, like, oh, like, although it should be bullish, it should not. It most likely probably won't deliver. No, I'm gonna go eat over there. Don't worry. Thank you, baby. So whatever. Obviously, I wouldn't take this on my account. I just kind of did it out of, you know, trying to prove a point that, oh, ES might hold this and go lower, although it makes no sense. And it didn't. Obviously, ended up going higher. But for the longs that I wanted to see, we're not delivering any gap, right? We just have a breaker. We're delivering off the breaker, and I grabbed this order block here. As you can see, from the high to the low, all this counts as a down close candle. We come up, we close above this high. We mitigate the 0.5 of that. Sweep this 5-minute low. Again, making a CRT low to CRT high, and then you can target London high. Again, what would have been the long? This 2-minute IFEG. Obviously, I was fading this model. I was fading my own model. The reason being is because of ES. Right, I didn't enter this trade on my account, again, because we're not delivering it off anything. But if I were to take a trade where ES is correlating, if ES would have been correlated, I would have been more bound to take this trade here. So, I would have just taken it all off at London. Again, and I know you guys might say it's hindsight, but most of the time I would have honestly taken most of it off at a 1-to-1 right here, probably. I would have taken 75 off and then held the rest to London. The reason being is because with Mondays, you want to take low-hanging fruit. So, again, this made sense. I would have gone break-even at this internal, probably targeted this internal or London, and fully take it all out, and that's it. But yeah, I would love to see London and Asia in this example, right? But yeah, I just breaking it down to you guys how this makes sense and why this makes sense to be bullish, right? The only reason why I didn't is because ES is holding bearish, right? That's the only reason why I didn't short this. That's the only reason why I didn't long this, and I ended up shorting on demos because of ES. Many times I've seen ES, and again, another thing I want to talk about is ES didn't displace through this high, and whenever ES fails to displace through the high, most of the time we don't deliver. Especially on a Monday, I've been focusing a lot more on ES. I'm not saying that I'm gonna switch my whole strategy and only focus on ES, but ES is a factor. If ES and NQ are not correlated, I'm not gonna want to take a trade trying to fade ES. Of course, there's situations where there'll be an SMT, so it makes sense to go long, and then ES will just kind of slowly make its way up there, and NQ would just be the driving factor like today. The only thing it was not everything was aligned, so I didn't take the trade. I'm happy with my executions for today, which was not executing. So yeah, that's pretty much it, the recap for the day. Pretty happy for today that I didn't take anything because of ES. And yeah, also another thing too is I really wanted to see a little bit lower on NQ. I want to see us maybe around this gap here. But I also understood that we could have delivered from here, and that's exactly what we ended up doing. So again, overall, good analysis on the day. I always post in my little journal here, all the time. I posted good morning coming into the day with a bullish bias. Price actually just doesn't look the cleanest in my opinion. Price never came to the discounted gap, and during London we opened lower, mitigating the 4-hour BISI, creating a bullish SMT with ES, and essentially making London low a protected low slash sponsored, and then invalidating a 1-hour fair value gap. So in theory, we should start heading towards London and Asia highs now, but price action on the lower time frame looks a bit off. We'd like to see London lows get swept first and then a run up higher. We also have Trump speaking at 10 a.m., so be careful with that as well. Just waiting for more information. I would like to see London lows get taken and then a run higher from there. So again, what ended up happening, again, I was looking at this, and then I said essentially we should start going higher from here once we sub the low, like I said, right? And that's exactly what we did. We swept this low. Obviously, we overextended at 9:30 open, but there it is. We ended up going higher from there. Again, there was just no real entry here, in my opinion. There was this 4-minute, which ended up inversing to go long. But again, if you were truly bullish here, you could have gone long. You could have gone long, but it would have been break even regardless. I just wanted to wait due to the simple fact that I just wanted to wait due to the simple fact that NQ was just being weird. So I mean ES was just being weird. I didn't like that. But yeah, that's the only thing I would say really for today. Just got mitigated and price ended up, yeah. I think any other day price would have actually gone higher from here, but just due to that simple fact that, you know, due to the simple fact because of that, that's the only thing I would say. Yeah, that's pretty much the recap. I don't really have nothing else to say. Let me know how you guys did today as well. I just personally didn't like anything. Yeah. That being said, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's trade recap. Peace.